Does Hrithik Roshan need money? You know, like, what is going on? I don't know. I've been seeing these clips on people's stories, and I initially heard about it like, oh, he's coming to Prairie View Mall this weekend in Dallas, Texas. Are you gonna go see him? I said, no, I don't live in Dallas. But why is he going to a shopping center that's been shut down for years? Why is he okay? Like, I'd be down to donate. Normally I'm not down to donate to these silly links that you guys put in your stories, but to Hrithik Roshan, Kahona Pyar Hai Hrithik Roshan, K3G Hrithik Roshan, the movie where he's playing with ET and stuff, Hrithik Roshan, I'll donate to him. Has no one told Hrithik Roshan about OnlyFans? I'm not too familiar with the platform. I thought about getting rich off of it one time. I'm just going to be honest with you guys. But has no one told him about OnlyFans? There has to be a better way to make some money. Imagine if he just, started an OnlyFans account. Maybe he got on Twitch. Maybe he even started a podcast. And he came on there and he's like, hey guys, I'm just going to dance for an hour. And, this is what it's going to be. People would pay for that. People would pay for that. You'd get a much better turnout than the shit I'm seeing on people's stories, the stuff I'm seeing on TikTok. I don't know what it is about these Indian planning companies, committees, agencies. I'm messing up the terminology here. But he isn't the one planning all of this stuff, right? He goes through some type of agency, booking group, and then let's say Live Nation, right? And then they go through all of these venues and say, hey, we're going to book this for this. And this particular group has that crowd base. What is it? Yeah. They have that crowd behind them. So this particular group can attract that super fandom of Hrithik Roshan, super fandom of Bollywood. And then, majority of it isn't people our age, right? It isn't people 30 or anyone younger. It's probably 30 is probably your like baseline of people going to see this dude. And then the majority of people, you're talking about 40 to 60 years old. That is your target audience. So then you have to go through some of these agencies that, can attract that group. So make sure you have a good turnout. And it's just weird, right? Like, why are you booking these places? What happened to, like the small like concert halls? Has everything just been shut down, or is it just too expensive to book these things? Last week I was looking for Chris Brown tickets because, I got to go see the GOAT this time on tour. First of all, also, how's he already back on tour? But speaking of good dancers, Chris Brown. Not good dancers. Speaking of the Mount Rushmore of dancers, Chris Brown. And I remember going in college to see this dude for like $120, and I was on the floor, probably like 6 rows away from the dude. Now $120 gets you into the door. Your nose is bleeding up there. But does Hrithik Roshan need money? Why? I just don't understand what is the point of this. OnlyFans would be the move. If he just recorded himself in the kitchen cooking, maybe running lines, people would pay for that. If he, just played with his thumb in front of the camera for an hour a day, people would pay for that. I'm seeing these clips now, and boy, oh boy, he's dancing with these children on stage. And look, ladies and gentlemen, this is not, you don't need to go to India, break into the industry, do a bunch of shitty movies, maybe a lot of background work. Maybe you're in a lot of music videos, but never getting a line in the video. Kind of like myself. You don't need any of that anymore. Apparently, you could just be part of some Indian student association and dance with this dude on stage. Why are these children on stage with him? I don't need to see people that are I want to see some auntie that's 50 years old on that stage dancing with him. That is someone who loves his ass. That is someone who cooked and fucking cleaned for their goddamn cooked and cleaned for the freaking husband and entire household. And this got very little appreciation. But at the end of the night, she would turn on some music videos, or she'd turn on B4U and she would see Hrithik Roshan. And she'd be like, oh my gosh, this is the idea of a perfect man. He can dance. He's sweet. All of this stuff. They turn him into a hero. And then they turn him into a villain in Doom 2, which was one of the best Dooms out of the 3 Dooms. Hrithik Roshan's a top 5 Bollywood actor ever. Am I wrong? He's not the greatest actor, don't get me wrong, right? Acting chops, maybe not top tier. But he's up there. Me personally, I got Shahrukh, the king, right? I got Amir Khan. By grandfathering him in. I'm not too familiar with his young work, but you got to put Amitabh Bachchan. Who's the last 2? Damn, people are probably gonna kill me for this. Who's the last 2? I throw Hrithik Roshan in there. He's part of all those big movies, all those big Yash Chopra films that I saw him in. The 5th Bollywood spot probably goes to Ranbir. One of them. I know some of y'all don't like one of their asses, but it's one of them. I just don't understand what's the whole point of this. It feels weird. It feels like you're tarnishing your legacy. Why are you doing this tour? I'd rather you make another shitty movie. Look at what Shah Rukh Khan kind of had to do. A lot of people don't like these new movies that he's making because they're not used to this identity. And shout out Shah Rukh, right? He's gotten so big that he's gotten to just have his own production company. You know what? All of you guys didn't really like me in these villain roles that I was playing early on in my career. You guys loved the lover boy. So now that I'm paying for everything, I'm going to play whatever role I want to. And are they working out like the younger films? Of course not. The whole industry is different, this and that. And it's so strange because am I talking too much about Hrithik? There is even a whole Netflix thing. The Roshans, and I don't know too much about it. I didn't watch it, and maybe that's the whole reason he's on this tour, because people aren't really watching this thing. But I'm sure they saw, I forgot what it was called, the Superstars, or something on the Yash Chopra stuff, and that thing was amazing, right? You're talking about decades of blockbuster films. And then the Roshans probably saw that, or whatever production company sold it to the Roshan family to say, hey, this could be y'all. And then maybe it just didn't work out. Maybe they overpaid, whatever it is. It just feels weird. And then they got these children on stage, people kind of just sitting in the crowd. It's not even like a full production, right? It's not like he's coming out there with a bunch of background dancers. There's lights. It's a show. You pay $100. I don't even know how much these tickets are, but you pay some money and you at least get a show out of it. You get some entertainment. Oh shit, you know what? I had to wait a couple hours. I just spent my good money on this stuff. And at least I got a show. And this segment of Indian people is different. It's not like, you and I. It's not like you and I. You and I are down to spend money on Uber Eats, a vacation. Oh, you know what? I'm at the bar. Yeah, let me get 2 more shots. We're willing to spend money like that. The majority of these crowds that are turning out, they spend money on 2 things. Medical school for their kids and Bollywood. They will carve out nights to go see a movie. They will carve out things to go see the IFA Awards. They pay for Sling TV or whatever black box it takes to watch B4U, ZTV, Aapka Color. They love that shit. They will pay money for it. And so if Hrithik Roshan's coming to town, these people are going to dish out that money. And what a highway robbery. I get it. He's showing up, given what energy he has, putting on whatever show he's doing. But this is robbery, bro. Especially for like a dude that doesn't need this money. He doesn't need this tour that he's on. So then, of course, I resulted back to Google. And I just Googled, why is Hrithik Roshan doing this world tour? And so let me read off the results to y'all. It was basically, and this is the AI overview, which means it's 100% correct. Hrithik Roshan is currently on a USA tour celebrating 25 years in the Indian entertainment industry, and has revealed that he will be directing his upcoming film, Krish 4. So for the 4 reasons that they broke it down, a celebration of 25 years, directing Krish 4, focus on talent and hard work, continued learning and improvement. Brother, 25 years in industry. You don't need to prove anything to us. You're good, man. You're good. And I know it sounds like I'm bashing on this dude, but this is just kind of something that's happened with, like that, not that era. Is it that era? Because Salman Khan came out with the film and a lot of people were not really the happiest with that. This era of like people just have to kind of play on this nostalgia. They have to go off of what worked instead of defining something new. And I do understand it to a bit, right? Like, it's very hard to kind of develop new relationships nowadays. Like, there's so many films that come out. The industry has, exploded. It's not just Bollywood right now. You got Tollywood, whatever else wood there is out there. But there's so many films. There's so much exposure that half of them are on Netflix now. And so it's hard to kind of develop a new relationship. If Hrithik Roshan was to come out with a brand new film and we were like, oh, wow, that was a really good film. A perfect example is something like Rocky Aur Rani. A good film. They went back to kind of like the usual format. They had the key elements that they needed in a Bollywood movie, right? A hero that's popular, a heroine that's popular, a storyline that's a little bit ridiculous, but still plays on something that people can relate to. Obviously, some good music to go with it. And then the next thing you know, you have a good film. You have a hit. You have a movie that people are going to see multiple times. But it's very hard to do that. Very expensive to do that probably too. So what do you got to do? All right, let me go back to this thing. Let me go make Bad Boys 4. Let me go make another Fast and Furious. Let me go make Krish 4. It's tough. It's tough. Look at what Will Smith had to do. Will Smith came out with a music album. He went back all the way back to the roots. I don't know what it is. I don't understand why you wouldn't cast Will Smith in a movie. It's not like his acting chops have diminished in any sense. His public perception maybe a little bit. But grow up. He slapped another dude. People get slapped in this world. It is what it is. He slapped another dude that was talking about his wife. Let's just call it chivalry, spin that shit, turn it into a movie, and let's post it. It'll make money. These people have gravity, but nope. Now, they're dropping rap albums. And also, if I may say, the album is pretty good. I had to listen myself. And is it his voice? Like, am I sus for saying this? Like, the rap was pretty good. The beats were pretty good. It's a pretty good album, but people are just going to discount it because it's like, why is this actor rapping? Anyways, that's here nor there. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Ajay Patel Show. My name is Ajay Patel. This is episode 63, and by now you're probably wondering why I'm wearing these sunglasses. And these things, I ordered them from Alibaba.com from a vendor, and I was going for the whole, rave, Y2K, Miami day party kind of vibe. And they came in on the day before the wedding, and no one could pick them up. So now we just have 200 of them sitting around. The intention was to have them at the pre-wed, the barat, and the after party. So now we just have a bunch of sunglasses that say AI 2025 on them. But maybe I'll open up a Etsy shot or something. Nonetheless, welcome back. How is your Q1? Have you done your Q1 reflections? We are now in the month of April, and personally, I'm a little behind. There were some things that I thought I would be a little bit more ahead on. Obviously, the wedding stuff, I can't keep using that as the excuse. Thought I'd be in a little better health. Thought I'd be somewhere else with, like where I'm at in work. But like we've said multiple times on this thing, got to keep it pushing. Got to keep it going. But how are you? Have you done your check-in? How's your health? How's work going? How's that girlfriend treating you? How's that boyfriend treating you? But back to me. If you guys got a chance, sorry, what am I trying to say here? Hopefully you got a chance to check out the wedding episode last week. I know it was an hour and a half, but there's a lot of content. There's a lot of content, right? Like, this is probably the biggest event, the most amount of money I'm ever going to spend in my life. I mean, hopefully not, right? Hopefully I get a chance to spend a lot more money in my life, but it's a reason it's an hour and a half. So if you get a chance, that's episode 62. Everything's available on all the podcast networks. What have I been up to now? Like I said last week, where it's just a lot more getting into the routine of things. I had a work off site, and these work off sites are very interesting because I find myself in between this line where it's like, I want to invest time into this and be good at this. But at the same time, is this where I want to spend my time? You have a limited amount of time at the end of the day, right? And how you spend your time is where you end up. And like I'm saying, this is my thinking, this is my belief system. So if you got your own, it's probably, cool. But if I'm going to spend all this time investing in work, spending the extra hour, coming home, spending the extra 2 hours, then I truly believe work will go a certain distance. But then that takes away time from, okay, well, in 5 years, in 10 years, what do I want to be doing? If you're going to dedicate yourself to the arts, right? And by the arts, I mean something in show business, whether it's a podcast, anything else on the internet. Maybe you want to be an actor. Maybe you want to go produce some music. Anything in the arts takes a long ass time. And I'm not talking about the 1% that kind of have like these overnight success. They have a song and then next thing you know, they're booming, right? But at the end of the day, you still have to dedicate time to whatever you're trying to do. If you're trying to publish a book, right? I think everyone I know could publish a book. It's just a matter of, are they going to spend time doing it? Anyone can do a podcast. This is not the easiest shit in the world, but very feasible. Nothing physical holds you back from doing this. You have a voice. You probably have a computer. You just buy a microphone, use your phone to record. Next thing you know, you're online. Right? I'm not talking about, at this age, I can go to the NBA. No, the fuck, I cannot. But anything that you commit yourself to, you can probably do. Yeah, 100%. If you want to learn how to cook, do your thing. If you want to become a good baker, do your thing. So I'm in this line, especially now when I find myself committed, going to these weekend offsites during the week offsites and really leaning into conversations and contributing to the efforts and trying to program myself of where I'm going to be. And I find it a little troubling because at the end of the day now, I live too expensive of a life, right? The golden handcuffs, as we've talked about before. I live too expensive of a life to just drop everything and go full on, let's say, arts, right? Let's say it's podcast. 100%. This ain't gonna pay for the bills, right? We would have to be living such a reserved life if we're gonna be doing that. If we're gonna be living off of one person's salary. I'm not saying we got to be eating ramen noodles, right? But we can't be traveling every other weekend. It's a different lifestyle. So I acknowledge, as I see myself as now someone that's married, we're living in Los Angeles. I'm trying to figure out, okay, are we going to be good in 5 years? How can I still provide if she were to quit her job tomorrow? And you have to have income, right? You have to be bringing home the bacon. And to each their own. I'm telling y'all my perspective. Personally, I want to be providing. And so when I'm thinking about this work effort that I'm giving, it always goes back to that. That's what kind of helps me be like, nah, you just keep going on this. Keep going on this. Put 80% into this, 20% into something else. Even the podcast thing, right? Like, I'm not even giving 20% at this point. I like this, right? I like the recording bit. But as soon as I'm done recording, everything else becomes has started to feel like a lot of friction between the editing, making sure I cut out, awkward snippets. Okay, let me make sure I make a clip for Instagram, make a clip for TikTok. And I've gotten to the point now where it's like, if I'm going to continue doing this, I need to just throw more money at this. There's no point in me doing this every week and like let's say success is measured by viewers, subscribers, sponsors, whatever it is, guests that I have. All of that stays stagnant from week to week, week to week, week to week. Okay, maybe you got one subscriber. Week to week, week to week. Oh, this one video got 1 million views on Instagram. Okay, but did that do anything? Did you get more followers? Did you get, some type of new audience? Whatever it is. Is something changing in the course of things? And right now, how I've been operating probably for the last 4 months, right? And yeah, not haha. The wedding obviously took some effort, but even before that, and even now, I'm posting and I may be cutting up 2 clips, but I know it takes so much more than that. So as I'm talking about this whole wiring myself for Q2, I'm seeing some of these things, and I hope y'all continue to be patient with me because, or you know what, give the notes. Give the notes. It's perfectly fine. But that's me. I hope you can have your own reflections. Talk to me about it. I love having this conversation with people. More interestingly, they got some people in Houston for gambling. This actually happened last night. And, I get it. There's a lot more bigger things to talk about, like the stock market crashing. I mean, it's not crashing. All the tariffs. People all of a sudden became an expert on tariffs overnight. But honestly, I've just kind of taken a step out of all this nonsense now. Like anything Trump, Musk, who else do people hate nowadays? Facebook. I've just stepped away from it. It's just too exhausting to keep up with. My opinions normally don't coincide with other people's, and then they think I'm some fascist on the block. So I've just kind of focused on my life and some of the fun stories. Like, for example, we have Houston game room raids. 61-year-old ringleader among 16 charged in $22 million scheme. 45 arrested in total. A 61-year-old man. Okay, so I'm also reading this from Fox 26. A 61-year-old man among 45 arrested in a multi-million-dollar scheme involving illegal game rooms in the Houston area. According to federal officials, 30 of the man's game rooms were the target of police raids on Wednesday. Operation Double Down. U.S. Attorney, 720 law enforcement agents involved, 45 locations. Damn, they got a bunch of people. Nizar Ali, 61 from Richmond. Naeem Ali, 33. Amer Khan, 68. 68. Ishan Duka, 33. Shield. Damn, there's a bunch of Indian folk. Damn, this is racist as hell. Maria Del Rosa, 53. Lucia Hernandez. And then there's 2 others still wanted. Illegal gambling business and interstate travel in aid of racketeering. Money laundering is always an interesting thing. Like, it's are people dying? Are people doing things that are against their will? I always support a good, sticking it to the system scheme. Like, my favorite thing to do is use the self-checkout. I use the self-checkout. If you put me in a store with the self-checkout, I'm walking out with everything. And all my money in my pocket. Now, I'm a professional. I know which stores have the scale, so you have to put something on the bag item. I know which stores that you can kind of leave everything in your cart, like Home Depot and you can just scan 3 out of the 4 things and then walk out. I love a good sticking it to the system. Now, I'm not saying burn the Target down, but if you want to steal some toilet paper, who cares? Stick it to the system. Gambling rooms? Now that's at least cool. Have you guys seen Molly's Game on Netflix? That bitch was badass. You're talking about having a secret room in which people would come, give money to participate in some type of gambling activity, and then they go home. Nobody got shot. People were, no, everyone was there on their free will. The only thing illegal was that the state or the government was not taking a percentage of that. Casinos is where everything is heading. I hope everyone knows that. Casinos is where everything is heading. Dallas, it has to be happening eventually. I don't know how. But casinos is the move now. All of these sports teams have started realizing that, oh, hey, sports teams, and by sports teams, it might just be, sports teams mainly. Sports teams is what I have knowledge on, so let me speak on that. They've realized, oh, okay, you know what? We pay so much money to rent something through this venue to have our event, right? So let's say the Dallas Mavericks. I know, haha, but the Dallas Mavericks, they go through American Airlines Center, and then the American Airlines Center probably takes a percentage of that money that they have in ticket sales. The Dallas Mavericks don't own that arena. And if I'm incorrect about that, then imagine that they don't. They don't own that arena. So why not build their own arena, similar to what the Clippers did? And then, hey, you know what? People are coming here for us. So why don't we own this? And then we can be the person that when Hrithik Roshan needs to go on tour, we can host him here. When Chris Brown is going on tour, we can have him in this arena. We can bring in whatever crews are necessary we have the sound system. We have everything you need. Obviously, you bring in the people that bring the stage and all that stuff. And then we make money off of that too. And now people are going to start opening up these super arenas. These super arenas that have an arena in the back. There's a hotel on the left. There's a casino downstairs. There's a rooftop pool. That pool turns into a club at night. Everything is, how do I constantly make money for every single hour in the day? And so stuff like this, these gambling raids, I hate that it's like this. That's so much effort. Like if you guys see the videos on TikTok and stuff, these people are strapped up with like AR-15s. There's like SWAT teams for this. You don't even see this stuff for school shootings, if I'm being honest. You do not see this much law enforcement show up for, like a crisis like that. Obviously, I'm being a little bit dramatic, but you get the point that I'm making. Is that these people are just gambling. They're not whipping dope. They're not infecting their communities. Sure, it's illegal. But, it's like, who snitched? Who snitched? This is H-Town. Like, this isn't a Diddy mansion party. Half these people are people just, from Sugar Land. They're just trying to make it in this country. It's unfortunate. It's unfortunate. There's obviously bigger things that are happening in the world with, like I said, the whole stock market stuff, tariffs. But more importantly, has anyone watched Snow White? Has anyone watched Snow White? Once again on the nostalgia piece. Sometimes they should just stick to the nostalgia. If there's this super pasty white girl in the Disney movie, then go find a super pasty white girl. Like what is what's her name? Anya Taylor-Joy doing? Let's get her. She's tall. She has nice hair. She's quite white. Let's make her Snow White. She probably won't hop on Instagram crying, talking about if you voted red, then you should die. Right? She probably is not doing that and then, going to set playing a Disney princess. And then you got this girl on the other side. I don't understand how Gal Gadot keeps getting all these movies, man. How? I mean, I think I do know how, but you know, I'm trying to stay in good standings with them. This movie's crashed. This movie's crashed and burned, and they've tried to use this whole nostalgia factor. People are kind of destroying it. And don't get me wrong, I kind of want to do my proper research and at least go see the movie and see if it's good or not before I just kind of hop on the opinion bandwagon. But it's more fun to talk shit, am I right? So if you've seen Snow White, please let me know what your thoughts were, because I would love to know. What else did we have on this slate? Oh, this is a shorter episode. So all that to say, let me throw these sunglasses back on. I wanted to keep it shorter this week. One, because last week's was so long, so I'd love for you to go back and watch episode 62. I'm about to watch the national championship between Houston and Florida. That's happening right now. The score is 18-21. Houston's up. Shout out H-Town. And, of course, we had to order some Thai food. We saw the whole TikTok trend. We saw what everyone was doing. So why not? Why not be part of the joy? We ordered some Thai food, about to watch the season finale of White Lotus. Maybe we'll do a little recap next week. In addition to all of that, ladies and gentlemen, I'm launching a new podcast. And I am determined to make it happen. Is it online yet? Nope. But I am launching Kunal's Corner. I think I mentioned this last week, but Kunal's Corner will feature Kunal Patel, a friend of mine and a guest of the show. He is one of those dudes that I feel like knows sports left and right. And not like arrogantly, right? It surprises me how much shit he knows. Like if you were ever to see like a sports trivia at Pluckers, you would take this dude. And he actually, like we've said, he had a podcast originally back in college, and I just wanted to bring back somewhere that I can talk about sports mainly. I don't want to kind of flood this with sports or have a separate segment or have a separate podcast for myself, because I don't think I can really carry that boat, especially with me trying to make this boat sail. So Kunal's Corner, I will eventually drop the link with this video clip, and so be on the lookout for that. With that all being said, I hope you guys have a wonderful week. Make sure that Q2 is ready to go. And goodbye.